My name is Seth Hoyt. I live in Ione, California. I do the Hoyt Report, and been doing that for about 10 years. And my background's in agriculture, and I worked for the California Department of Food and Agriculture for 30 years, and also was raised on a beef cattle ranch in California, and was involved in the FFA. Was an American farmer in 1969. Export markets over the last 10 years has become a bigger part of the alfalfa market, and the demand it's been a big factor as far as what the market has done and what the demand is for alfalfa hay in the western states. As far as new markets, China is not really a new market, but it's a growing market. Export people tell me that they think that the volume of alfalfa to China will continue to grow the next year, in the coming years. Saudi Arabia is a big market because of the fact that that country is on the same course as the United Arab Emirates, and that is to stop using water for crops, to save water, and to import feeds and hay. And so the outlook for Saudi Arabia is positive, that we're going to export more alfalfa hay to them in the coming years as they stop using water for alfalfa. And they have dairy cows in Saudi Arabia. I don't know the exact number, but I know the biggest dairy there milks a large number of cows, 80,000 cows, I think. And so there's going to be a demand for alfalfa to go to Saudi Arabia from the western states. A GMO alfalfa it's been a bigger factor in exports. Countries like China, they do not want GMO hay. So whereas dairies in the U.S., in the western U.S., there's no restrictions on feeding GMO alfalfa. So it's more of an export. I mean, the impact is more export as far as if it's GMO hay, China doesn't want it, and China right now is our biggest export country for alfalfa hay from the U.S. So that's the biggest issue, is the export market. It's hard to predict because there's so many variables, but what we've seen in the early contracting of hay and the early new crop contracts in the southern desert, California and Arizona, prices have been $15 to $30 a ton higher than a year ago. I would say that with the outlook as far as with the export demand, now the dairy demand, as I said, because of milk prices, the dairies overall will not be as aggressive. So that's going to keep some downward pressure on it. But it looks like the market could be stronger. How much stronger? It's hard to say, because, like I say, if we had profitable milk prices, that would be a big factor, because we know that the export demand will probably be stronger. That's what the exporters are telling us, is that they think China will grow. They think Saudi Arabia will continue to grow. But as far as where that market, if the dairies are not as aggressive in the marketplace, the exporters are not going to push the market up if they don't have to. So that's only negative right now, is that the milk price is going to maybe hold prices down from where they could be. But overall, it looks like it's going to be a little stronger than we saw in 2017.